Thank you. A roll call, please.
In the roll call, Commissioner Hamilton,
Present.
Commissioner Grunsky, absent. Commissioner Midgley, Commissioner Rustaller,
Present.
Commissioner Sangha.
Here.
Any action or request for continuance or withdrawals this evening?
Yes, Chair. David Kwong, your director. We have a request for a continuance of item number 2, the site approval of Mohammed Bilal, care of Steve Harum. They are here tonight requesting a continuance to a specific date of August 19th. That is it, Chair and Commission.
Pleasure of the board. My motion to continue item number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Midgley,
Yes.
Commissioner Rustaller,
Aye.
Commissioner Sangha,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Hear that on August 9th. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to action item. We have a consent item number 1. Your time extension for major subdivisions. A 100266. Anybody, at this, its items calendar for consent will be approved in one motion without a public hearing unless a member of the Planning Commission or the audience requests that this item be removed from the consent calendar and heard separately. Audience, anyone on the commission like to pull it? If not, can I have a
Commissioner, we do have participants on Microsoft Teams. Should we ask if they would like to respond?
okay?
For those participating on Microsoft Teams, this is for consent item action number 1. If you have any comments, you may speak. Looks like none. No comments.
Somebody's here.
Hello, are you here to speak on item number 1, the 6-year time extension for a major subdivision?
Oh, no, I'm here to speak for the gas station at Fremont Oro.
Okay.
I'll be advised that that won't be heard till, has been put down to the road till August 19th, 6 p.m.
So, are they going to do this again?
August 19th, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I have a motion for the consent item number 1.
I wanted to bring to your attention that we have a request in the notes for the evening packet for the purposes of the record on the time extension to clarify that both of the time extensions will expire on December 11th, 2029, not on 2027. May 5th, 2027. The dates are incorrect in the staff report, so just for purposes of record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to approve consent item number 1.
I make a motion that we approve the 6-year time extension for the previous approved major subdivision applicants, PA 1000266 and PA 1000267, with the previously approved findings, attachment D, and the previously approved conditions of approval, attachment E, with the corrections that it will be extended, they will both be extended till
December 11th, 2029.
December 11th, 2029.
Second.
Second, have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Midgley,
Yes.
Commissioner Sangha,
Yes.
Commissioner Rustaller,
Aye.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Yes. Motion passes 4. Move on to action item number 3, site approval for number PA 100315 of Vanderschaft Dairy.
Thank you, Chair Hamilton. We have John Funderburg, Principal Planner John Funderburg tonight, and Planner Frank Girardi, who will be presenting the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. All right. Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. This project is a site approval application for a manure digester facility on an 18-acre portion of a 237.48 acre parcel. The manure digester facility will capture gases from manure waste and convert the gases to renewable natural gas, which is RNG. The project site is located on the west side of South Murphy Road, 2,915 feet north of Lone Tree Road, northeast or northwest of Escalon. And the project site has a general plan designation of AG, which is General Agriculture, and OSRC, which is Resource Conservation, and a zoning designation of AG 40, General Agriculture, 40-acre minimum. The aerial photo depicts the project site. The surrounding parcels are primarily agriculture with scattered residences. This image depicts a project radius map with the locations of existing residences. The concentric circles on the map represent distances of 500 feet, 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet, and 3,000 feet from the project site. Point out the locations of the existing residences off the parcel. There are 2 residences that are within 2,000 feet of the project area, and there are 3 residences that are within 3,000 feet, which is over a half a mile from the project site. This is a copy of the project area site plan submitted by the applicant. The project location identified in the center of the blocked area on the site plan. This is a copy of the project area site plan submitted by the applicant. Background. The existing Vanderschaft Dairy Number 3 was approved by the Community Development Department on January 8, 1993 under site approval application SA 92-0061. Since that time, the state of California passed numerous Senate bills in an effort to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, such as methane, by 40% by 2013 levels. Ultimately, California is working toward a goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2045. In an effort to reach these goals, California dairy farms are installing anaerobic digesters designed to capture and reduce methane from their dairy facilities. On December 5th, 2018, the applicant submitted the subject site approval application for a manure digester to collect methane gas to generate electrical power. During the processing of the application, the project applicant decided to amend the project to use the harvested methane gas to generate a fuel product instead of electricity. These changes require a reconfiguration of the equipment and a system design of a revised site plan. On February 9th, 2021, the applicant resubmitted a revised site plan and application for the project to include a manure digester facility to convert the greenhouse gases to renewable natural gas, RNG, instead of electricity as originally proposed. The manure digester facility will operate 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, with 30 truck trips per day, with 4 employees on site during normal daytime business hours at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., 5 days per week, Most of the digester equipment will operate autonomously and will be monitored by the employees. Flush water from the digester, from the dairies, VS1 and VS3, will be treated with manure digester facility to produce the RNG and fertilizer, which will be sold as vendors off-site. The digester facility will be powered with natural gas that is trucked by an approximately once per week and stored in gas containers. The project applicant is available tonight to answer any additional questions on the project operations. Letters received. The Community Development Department received 1 letter in support of the Farm Bureau and 2 emails from neighboring property owners expressing concerns regarding aesthetics and lighting, biological resources, geology and soils, hazardous materials, hydrology and water quality, noise, odors, greenhouse gas emissions, traffic and manure spillage on roadways, and impacts to tribal and cultural resources. In response to their concerns, the project is located approximately 2,000 feet from the frontage road, and the methane digester operations will be primarily located behind the existing dairy farms. The proposed lighting for the parking areas will be required to meet the development title and do not allow any spillover beyond the property line, and confine lighting to the premises. As a result, the impacts of the project on existing aesthetics and lighting are expected to be less than significant impact. In response to noise, Development Title Section Table 9-1025.9 Part 2 states that the maximum sound level for stationary noise sources in the daytime is 70 decibels and 65 decibels at nighttime. The nearest residence on the adjacent parcel is 0.44 miles on the east side of Murphy Road. All potential noise generating equipment related to the operation will be enclosed to a sound deadening container and are designed to be 65 decibels at 10 meters, which is 32.8 feet from the noise source. As a result, any noise impacts to noise are expected to be reduced to a less than significant impact. In response to biological resources, the applicant has confirmed that he will be participating in the San Joaquin County Multi-Species Habitat Conservation and Open Space Plan, which is the Habitat Conservation Plan. Participation in the HCP, which is Habitat Conservation Plan, satisfies requirements of both state and federal Endangered Species Acts and ensures that the impacts are mitigated below a level of significance in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. Therefore, any potential impacts to biological resources will be reduced to a level less than significant. In response to hazardous materials, the operator must report the use of storage of these hazardous materials to the California Environmental Reporting System and comply with laws and regulations. As a result, any hazardous materials impacts are expected to be less than significant and will be sent to the and also, referrals were sent to the California Regional Valley Water Quality Control Board, the Environmental Health Department, and the Department of Public Works. Central Valley Regional Water Quality Control Board responded in a letter stating that the proposed projects meets the waste discharge and permitting requirements for coverage under the dairy digester general order. The Environmental Health Department and the Department of Public Works responded in letters that the project will be required to meet the standards and permitting requirements. In response to air quality, a referral was sent to the San Joaquin County Air Pollution Control District, in which they responded in a letter that the project specific annual emissions from construction and the operational emissions of criteria pollutants from the methane digester are not expected to exceed the district's significant thresholds. As a result, are considered to be less than significant. In response to traffic concerns, the Department of Public Works determined that a traffic study is not required because the proposed project is not expected to exceed 50 vehicle trips during any hour that would have less than a significant traffic impact. Additionally, it was determined that the project will generate less than 110 automobiles trips per day, and therefore is considered a small project according to the Technical Advisory Evaluating Transportation Impacts in CEQA, as published by the California Office of Planning and Research, OPR, in December 2018. According to the OPR guidance, a small project that generates and attracts fewer than 110 trips per day generally may be assumed to cause a less than significant transportation impact with regards to vehicle miles traveled, VMT. Also, the applicant stated that the manure hauling trucks have covers on the trailers to minimize spillage. Finally, a referral was sent to the California Native Heritage Commission, the California Valley Miwok Tribe, the Buena Vista Rancheria, the California Tribal TNF Partnership, and the United Arbor Indian Community, which is the UAIC. The UAIC responded in a letter in which stated that the project site is located outside of their consultation area and they do not have any objection to the commencement of the project. Additionally, the Buena Vista Rancheria responded in a letter stating that they do not have any objection to the commencement of the project. As a result, there will be no impacts to tribal or cultural or paleontological resources. So, letters received. The Community Development Department received an email and some additional concerns raised by the neighbors in response to a meeting in which the applicant held with the neighbors. The concerns are that the project, as being a part of a 3-dairy project involving Dumas Dairy on Casson Road in Tracy and Hilltop Dairy in Oakdale, that the digester is not owned and operated by the Vanderschaft Dairy, but is leased to, and the digester owned and operated by Central Valley RNG LLC. The project's primary purpose is to generate renewable natural gas to be hauled to a centralized location, and a gas tanker will be filled daily and immediately transported off-site, not stored on-site. There was observed construction confirmed by the applicant as the initial construction of roads and foundations. In response to these concerns raised, financing and bonding for this project site is handled by the California Pollution Control Financing Department, and the bond is issued as a single package for the dairy operation for bond issuance purposes. But the Vanderschaft Dairy is a separate independent operation and a standalone project, new methane digester, which requires new site approval application. The day-to-day digester operation will be managed and operated by RNG. However, the Vanderschaft Dairy will still control ownership of the property. The project applicant digester system is encouraged as part of the state working toward a goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2045. This practice and procedure is in compliance with standard regulations and permitting for methane digester operations throughout California. In response to the construction activity, CDD conducted a site visit on May 28, 2021 and August 4th, 2021, which revealed no construction activities or grading of the proposed operations. However, the inert and construction debris that was observed that's on the property is a result of main flush line at Vanderschaft Dairy 3 being removed because the outdated infrastructure cannot keep up with the demands of the dairy. As discussed with the applicant, the main flush line was consistently backing up into the flush lanes. The drain line was redesigned to increase its flow and volume to eliminate the risk of backing up in the future. The new drainage boxes are improved, and improved flush lines have helped to create optimum conditions at the dairy for both the cows and employees. No construction of buildings have has occurred on the site. The project applicant is here tonight to answer any additional questions the commission may have. As a fair argument, the EDD has determined that the project as designed meets the development title requirements and that the concerns raised by the neighbors can be mitigated through the conditions of approval, and there is no substantial evidence that conclude that a fair argument has been made. As such, the Community Development Department prepared an initial study that reviewed all of the topics raised by the neighboring property owners, found and that a potentially significant project impact could be reduced to a less than significant level through implementation of mitigation measures. Pursuant of the fair argument standard established by the California Environmental Quality Act, Public Resource Code sections 21080D, if there is substantial evidence in light of the whole record before the lead agency that the project may have a significant effect on the environment, an environmental impact report shall be prepared. There has not been any substantive evidence presented or submitted to the Community Development Department that the project will have a significant impact on the environment. Therefore, an EIR is not required. As a result, a negative declaration is recommended for adoption by the Planning Commission. This photo was taken along South Murphy Road, looking west at the access driveway for the project site. This picture depicts the existing dairy structures west of the project site. This photo depicts the project site looking southwest. This picture depicts the project site looking southeast. And this photo depicts the access driveway facing east. This picture, the existing dairy facing south. Thank you. This concludes staff presentation.
Thank you, Frank. Any questions? Seeing none, can we have the applicant ready to come forward?
Mr. Chairman, may I?
Please. If you would state your name and address, please.
Address, you say?
Name and address, please.
Ethan Werner, 346 Gulfstream Way, Costa Mesa, California. So I'm Ethan Werner, one of the partners at Sierra Renewable Organics Management. We are developing and owning and operating the digester at Vanderschaft Dairy. I've got with me John Vanderschaft, the owner of the dairy, as well as a few of the other partners in the company. And we're very pleased to be able to undertake this project in line with the state of California's greenhouse gas reduction policies, and to be able to work with John Vanderschaft and his sons to keep their farm sustainable and moving forward into the next generation. Happy to answer any questions or concerns that anyone has.
Hold on one second. Got a couple questions for you. Once it's natural, let's back up. Bring in this waste. It's wet waste.
Yeah, it's manure that's flushed out of the barns that would normally go into the storage lagoons.
And after this process, where will the natural gas be trucked to?
The natural gas is brought to an injection into a gathering line run by the California Energy Exchange that then feeds into the PG&E main system that will eventually fuel trucks, natural gas trucks in the region.
Now, is that at the port?
No, it's, I don't know the name of the exact town, but it's just down 99.
How many other projects do you have type of?
About 4 dozen throughout North America and South America now.
Do you have any other in California?
This will be the first in California. To date, it's been very difficult to get into the natural gas lines. That just changed with these new state policies, And so we're very pleased to be here and doing projects in the state now.
Touch on how different this digester is.
It's very similar. It's a manure-only digester. It runs mesophilically. The manure stays in the digester for about 25 days, and once it's come out, it's taken out a lot of the odors, and a lot of the greenhouse gas production potential has gone into that gas that we put into the gathering lines.
Questions?
I'm good. Pretty much everything is answered in the detailed report. So one of my concerns was when you're taking it, it's not dripping. So the applicant has made it very clear that the haulers or the trailers are covered, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that could be one of the concerns for the neighborhood, even though people are not living right next to you guys. But nope, no questions. Thank you.
How many additional?
Yeah, so there's about a half a dozen permanent jobs for the staff and people working, and there's about 2 to 3 dozen temporary jobs, including construction, safety, oversight management, local engineers. As you've seen, we're using Provost Local Engineering here in the Valley and a number of other people who are familiar working and building on the farms in the region.
Other dairies to join in, or is it just going to be the 3?
This site and this digester is the size that it is. It will not get any bigger. We hope other dairies do their own digesters, but this will be the Vanderscoff digester now and forever.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
This time, is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the project? Is there anyone online that would like?
Yes, this is the time for those on Microsoft Teams who wish to speak in favor of the project. You may speak and address the commission. Please unmute yourself.
Is there anyone in the audience? Seeing none, is there anyone in opposition to this?
We do have a Tom Terpstra, attorney, who wishes to speak. He's having a little trouble with audio right now.
Okay, there you go. I think I can you hear me now?
Yes.
Members of the commission, on behalf of the property owner of the Vanderscoff Dairy, you've already heard testimony from our developer team. I just wanted to lend my voice and support tonight and thank your staff for their excellent staff report. Very thorough, very complete. You've seen in the staff presentation, this project, if it is approved, would be subject to dozens of conditions and requirements from which derive a wide variety of public agencies, including the county. On behalf of the property owner, I do want to assure the commission that we are prepared to work with our developer team, who you've already heard from tonight, to implement and to satisfy each and every condition and requirement that as this project proceeds. Staff report and the testimony offered tonight in favor of the project provides all the evidence that the commission needs. The required findings for approval can be made, and in light of that, we would respectfully request the commission's approval tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else online?
Yes, we have another participant who will speak in opposition. Elizabeth?
Thank you. This is opposition testimony at this point?
Yes.
Okay, to clarify. I'm not sure if I'm really speaking in favor or against, but this is Elizabeth DeMichaels. We have the property at 14807 South Murphy Road. I don't think that Mr. Girardi did a fair representation of the email that was sent in, so I wanted to address that. After speaking with the owners of this project, we did have some of our concerns answered because we felt like there was, and that's when we realized there was a lot of misinformation. Now tonight, I'm kind of confused again. because Mr. Girardi made a comment that the gas would be stored on site. Yet when we had our meeting, we were told that the gas would actually be going into the tanker and taken off each day. So there was not going to be storage. So I'd like to have that clarified. Also, there was a comment about several workers there, and the way I understood it was that there were not going to be a lot of workers because a lot of it was done via the computers and things like that. So if we could clarify that. Also, in the comment that we made in the letter about work already being done, please understand that when we met with the applicants there, we had asked them, we had noted to them that we had seen a lot of construction. And we said, oh, is that starting on the dairy digester? And the response was, oh, yeah, we're starting work on the roads. That's why we made that comment to you, because, you know, my dad was a planning commissioner. I kind of understand how some of this works. And my other comment would be, you know, I think there's a lot of great things. I think we all want to go green. I think we can all understand that this does have some positive potential. We just want the correct information so we can understand it, because we're going to be living next to it. And I would hope that the dairy owners would not only work with the applicant and the county, but also want to make sure that their neighbors understood it, just to be good neighbors, good stewards. We've all been farming out there since, I mean, our family since the 1900s. So I want correct information. I think those of you who knew my dad, who was a planning commissioner, know that Michael's family kind of likes correct information. So I was very disappointed in the report that came, and I would like a little bit of clarification on that, whether it will be stored there or not, exactly how many employees. And I just hope that the information, I felt good when I left the meeting with the applicants the other day. I'm just sorry, I'm a little confused now after the presentation tonight, but I hope that the information continues to be clear and forthcoming. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight.
Thank you. Any other call-ins to speak on the project?
There are no more participants.
Okay, we'll close that part of it. When you come in, you have a question? Yeah, can we come back down and rebuttal and answer a few questions that you have, and maybe the commission does?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so it was my partner at Sierra, Jack DeLito, who had met with Elizabeth. And she's absolutely correct. The gas will not be stored on site. When the tanker is full, it leaves for injection and it comes back empty. So there's no storage on site just for when it's there for a couple of minutes. With regards to the employees, it's a total of about 6 people. There's always somebody on site during business hours for safety and for management. And then there's a couple of people remotely monitoring those computers. So once you add up 7 days a week and 2 operators, it ends up being about a half dozen, but they're not there together on site. There's usually only 1 or 2 people actually on site. And then as she mentioned, much of it is operated via the computers and remotely, but there are people monitoring and operating those computers back in the office. And then on the construction side, that was dairy construction for VS Dairy fixing their flush lines. There's been no construction on foundations or any sort of grading or any other activities with regards to the digester site at this time. Thank you.
Probably, but it's just for my edification. So you said there's probably a half a dozen in and out working, 1 or 2 on site all the time?
During normal business hours and
that's
and
8 to 5.
8 to 5, and then probably on the weekends during some less full time. What
will they be doing?
They are dosing the equipment to make sure that all the pumps are primed. They're monitoring the SCADA system, which is the automation system that runs everything. They're taking pH samples to make sure that the biology in the digester is working correctly. They're making sure that the truck being loaded and being unloaded is being done safely, and coordinating with the drivers, doing staff reports, a lot of cleaning, big site, so they're cleaning a lot, office work, other things of that nature.
And the ones monitoring the system, what are they looking for?
Temperatures and time kind of things. How hot is the digester? Is material moving through at the correct flow rates? And then they can adjust those accordingly. So if it's hot outside, obviously we need less heating in the system. And if it's forecast to be much cooler, they'll have to increase the heating. So those kind of things are done remotely from the office management.
Another quick question. got X amount of trucks coming and going every day. Waste, all the waste. Taking it off the dairy.
That's correct. Right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Session here. Bring it back to the commission. Any comments? I'd like to make a quick comment. I think this is it's been a while since we have, it's a good project. It's been a while since we've had neighbors call in and support it. Say that the applicant's been a really good neighbor to work with. I applaud you for working with your neighbors. Part of the battle, and they've been there, and you've been there for many years, and sound like you have see more as time goes on in this county and this state. That or call for a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. Item number 3, site approval number PA 1800315 of Vandershot Dairy number 3 be approved with the recommendations attached in our packet. Adopt the mitigated negative declaration, adopt the findings for site approval, and approve site approval 18005 with attached conditions of approvals.
We have a second on the motion.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sangha,
Yes.
Commissioner Rustaller,
Aye.
Commissioner Midgley, Commissioner Hamilton.
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you, gentlemen. We will move on to other business. Planning Commission comments. Director report.
Thank you, Chair and Commission. David Kwong, again, your director. Besides the item that you approved this evening for continuing to August 19th Planning Commission, which was the mini market gas station, you also have 2 other items moving forward to the 19th. One will be a modification revocation item of an approval of a site approval application for a off-premise billboard, and then also you have a site approval for a small kennel facility for a maximum of 9 dogs on site. And at this point, that's the August 19th agenda. I don't see any scheduled items for September 2nd at this point, and I'll report out on any further items at the August 19th agenda. So that concludes my report. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? I want to comment, Frank's still here. Frank, thanks for all your work on that project. I know you put a lot of time in it. Appreciate all your hard work. Thank you. No other comments? We are adjourned.